And here at Steelers Stadium, John Cross, the captain of Illawarra, takes them out, knowing that they really have to get their act together if they're going to make the top 8 in 1995. One of their senior players today, Rod Wishart, said that it's about due and it could start tonight. Let's hope it does for the followers down here at Wollongong. There's their team with O'Mara at the back, Wishart, Simon in the centres, that's Craig, McGregor, Beecham, Timmins, Eyre, Fritz, Callaway, Johnston, Richards, Duckworth, and John Cross is the captain at lock forward. They're coached by Alan Fitzgibbon. Their last win was in round 5. In fact, I think they've only won one match since the departure of Graham Murray, their coach. Some new faces in this Illawarra side compared to the one that we last saw on television. Some very young faces. Glenn Eyre, the number 7. A lot of local product. A very good young player in the 6th jumper is Sean Timmins. He's the youngest player in this match tonight by far. He's 2 years younger than his nearest in age. Big job expected from Paul McGregor tonight. Test jerseys very much on the line, and I would think that Queensland are holding the balance of the test numbers for the New Zealand match in 2 Fridays from now. And Paul McGregor is one player that will need to put in a couple of big ones if he's going to get one of those green and gold jumpers with 3 or 4 on its back. The crowd is not all that big, but then again, when I consider the weather conditions, and particularly you people in Sydney would be amazed, I suppose, to think that it's been raining here for a couple of hours now. And the rain has been very coastal, and they are some very brave rugby league supporters that are here tonight. As Ricky Stewart takes the Raiders out, they were toppled by Manly. They weren't disgraced, but they were certainly beaten by Manly at their most recent outing. A few of their players out of this side tonight as well. This is the lineup. Mullins, Nagus, Boyle, Ricky. Croker is out. Maguire is in his first run-on game on the wing. Daly, Stewart, DeVico, Walters, Lomax, Hetherington, Wesley, Clyde. No David Furner there, and Quentin Pongia is still out suspended. And Steve Roach on the sideline. This is a night where it's going to probably turn into a forward battle, and a very cold one as well.
Yeah, not as uncomfortable as you thought, Ray. It's pretty good down here. Stopped raining at the moment. Big test for Darren Fritz. He's playing for a Queensland position with Hearn being injured in the last week's State of Origin. And he's playing against his old club too. I expect if Illawarra are going to win this game, he has to have a big one.
Thank you, Steve. Graham West in charge. And the Steelers running from left to right. The breeze, if it's favouring either side, will be with the Steelers in the first half. It is an onshore breeze, though, that's blowing pretty much across the ground, with Canberra getting first use of the football just inside their 20-metre point. They come away to the left, and the forwards get in the line to take it away before they hear the call from their captain. And Stewart will do that a couple of plays down the line. Canberra out now to the 30-metre point on the far side of the ground, and this is Lomax now. Walters scurries into dummy half as it goes across now for the clearing kick off the boot of Stewart. And just looking at that first kick from Ricky Stewart, the breeze is certainly not against Canberra, so it's coming straight across the ground as Brendan O'Mara is put away 10 metres out from his own line. McGregor goes into dummy half, and he brings it out some 15 metres, with Daly going in to assist in the tackle with DeVico.
Some extra responsibility on Paul McGregor's shoulders tonight, concerning Brett Rodwell was injured in the State of Origin, a devastating blow to the Illawarra Steelers. And their experienced players, the likes of Wishart and McGregor, really have to rise to the occasion and show the way for these youngsters in the side.
He's also playing wounded tonight, Pete, because he received a nasty gash in his leg the other night in the State of Origin. He's got about 15 stitches in his leg.
Peter Johnston with a good hit up, and he found some support from the fullback. Now it's been put on the boot by John Cross, the captain, and it comes away off the 30-metre line by this newcomer, Maguire, who has followed a similar pattern to Ricky Stewart through his rugby league, or through his career. He went to St Edmunds College in Canberra, played ACT Rugby Union, as we find Walters now approaching the halfway line and put away. Tackled there by Dean Callaway, and the number 11 playing in the second row for Illawarra is Wayne Richards, the former Newcastle Knight. Lomax puts his shoulder into the defence as he goes ahead and goes 5 metres into Steelers territory. Stewart very busy, very involved as Hetherington gives a classy pass back on the inside to David Wesley, playing in the second row in number 12. As Illawarra struggled to get their markers in position to a quick play of the ball, and Stewart fires it to the right. Daly puts a little kick in, the chase is on, and a difficult assignment back there for the Illawarra winger, but he did it well. He didn't panic, Keith Beecham. And they come away now from just outside their 10-metre line through their test winger, Rod Wishart.
He did get a good bounce, Keith Beecham. It was a fine kick from Laurie Daly, put a lot of pressure on as the first penalty of the game goes to the Illawarra Steelers. Play the ball infringement once again, seen by referee Graham West. And this is the little kick over the top from Daly. Gets over the head of Beecham. Could have gone anywhere, but bounced back into his arms. There's plenty of pressure there, led by Maguire.
Dean Callaway using big Darren Fritz. Takes it out and met by the Raiders almost on the halfway line. Johnston comes in for the second play, and Johnston was taken very heavily. I'll be surprised if he's not injured. Now they go in. They come in from all over the park. The red and the green come together. My concern is for Peter Johnston, never mind about the blue. The big fella really took a crunching tackle.
Yeah, he's on his feet there, just recovering. Big tackle by John Lomax. It looked legitimate from here. Up around the chest area. Fritz right in amongst it. Here it is there, and, well, just a little bit above his chest. But it's more a ball-long tackle.
Again, the arm may have hit the ball and then bounced up around the throat area of Johnston. That's the way I saw it. Anyway, it inflamed the situation. They came in from all over the place. Johnston has sunk back to the ground. He's big and he's hard. He won't want any beg pardons, but I can assure you that he's very much in Disneyland at the moment.
The scrum is being set. Following that mistake, Peter Johnston dropping the football. I don't think there was any doubt the arm bounced up from Lomax, and it is a Canberra feed right on the halfway mark. So a turnover for Illawarra, second tackle.
Winning the scrum, and Stewart works it away through Daly, and this is Boyle in the centres. He's wearing jumper 3. Wickey's in 4. Daly goes to a wide blindside and finds an enthusiastic run from David Wesley. He's in a keen competition, Wesley, to grab a first-grade jumper on a permanent basis. And he needs to keep playing well to achieve that, as Stewart fades back, and then Clyde angles in, and then they send the number 10, John Lomax, down to the 20-metre line for Walters to improve and then promote back for Mullins. Mullins had to reach out one hand. He takes it in, looks to unload. The ball goes loose. Mullins appeals to the referee for the ball being raked out, but that's denied.
Still some chinks in the armour in the middle of the Illawarra defence. Some pet plays from the Canberra Raiders involved going up the middle of the ruck with the balls back inside and across the ruck. It's an area they've really got to shore up. Mullins there was able to nearly go straight through.
Yeah, and Fritz, I sometimes watch him and I think there's an intentional lifting of the knee as he approaches the defence line, and I think Laurie Daly might have sensed that himself just a few plays back as John Cross tries to do it himself. He gets it almost to the 40-metre line, but big Lomax is around the legs. He's doing a lot of work in the early exchanges. It goes back for Glenn Eyre to kick, and he does that. Ball bounces or doesn't bounce. It's brought away off the 30-metre line by young Maguire.
A late shot here from the kick of Glenn Eyre. It was a pretty ordinary kick. There's a lot of open space to be found, but he got straight to Michael Maguire, and then coming down, got involved in the tackle late, wasn't needed. As Peter Johnson leaves the field, David Walsh is the replacement, and a quick tap taken by the Raiders. Brett Hetherington makes an easy 20 metres.
Underrated player, this kid, Brett Hetherington, comes out of the same rugby league territory as Brett Mullins and to a lesser extent Luke DeVico. But a very good prospect is Hetherington as DeVico. Talking of him, he takes it away now for the Raiders. He played with Belconnen and Young and on the Central Coast. That pass looks suspect. It's Lomax though on the 20-metre line. Centre of the ground for the Raiders. No score on the board. Johnston is off. Walsh is on as Walters goes away. Lost the ball behind him. Got a kick back. Now it's Wesley, and the Steelers really stretched here by the Raiders as they launch another attack now on the last. Stewart looking for the kick. He kicks all right. He gets it off the left foot. Mullins comes charging through. They have got a touch, and so it's 6 more tackles for Canberra. There's a great chance here for the Premiers as it comes away to Stewart. He gives the long ball out for Daly. Daly throws the dummy. They've got him wrapped up, though, in the bottom corner. And Laurie Daly will be asked to play the ball on the 10-metre line on the grandstand side of Steelers Stadium. He appealed for a penalty. Wiki goes away, but he runs into Wayne Richards and plays it back for Walters now to give again. And here comes DeVico charging at the line, but there's no break. No break in the Illawarra defence yet. Walters to the right, away to Stewart. He cuts out Wesley. It goes on to Clyde, then Mullins. Now it's with David Boyle. He goes for the corner, Boyle, and he gets it down. Very strong performance, but he's ruled forward pass. Well,
Illawarra hang on. Some great play there by the Raiders. 12 tackles in a row against the Steelers. They've done well to hang on. Boyle makes the bust. Just about gets through the cross and beats him tackle. And the pass before that was real forward.
It was a very ordinary attempted tackle out wide there. Fortunately, the pass from Brett Mullins was ruled to be forward. And that's the problem for Illawarra coming into this game. Attacking record is not that dissimilar to the Canberra Raiders, but they've allowed 25 points on average against this year. Well, the opposition have only allowed 11. That's a big margin.
Richards now wrapped up in the defence of Ruben Ricky, and Wishart gets away from dummy half. He's put away on the 30-metre line. Dummy half Callaway. They go across to Eyre, one of the 2 youngsters playing at half and 5/8 with Timmins at 5/8. That is Duckworth in the 12. They're almost up to the halfway. It's been a very good set of 6 for Illawarra. Callaway's pass has been knocked down. It'll be a loose head and feed for Illawarra. Knocked down by David Boyle in frustration.
Oh, good work there by the Steelers. Callaway ran from dummy half. He was going to kick, saw a bit of space there and tried to utilise it there. And he would have been a good ball for Timmins, but knocked down by Canberra. 6 more for the Steelers. Let's go.
So they win the scrum. Okay, well, we'll go with you as they come away to the right of the ground.
Sorry, I think I'm on the sideline. I think I'm still on the sideline Monday night.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
Hey ya.
We've got Laurie Daly being called out along with Darren Fritz. He's still also there.
What's he talking
I don't
about?
know.
Let's go.
Trying to work out where we were going to.
Anyway.
Oh, a high tackle there from Laurie Daly will be penalised on Glenn Eyre. Darren Fritz, I guess, has had something to say because he's getting a dressing down from the referee also. And there you see the signal to the captain, Ricky Stewart, and Laurie Daly, just to keep them down.
Well, Graham West gives the penalty to Illawarra. I guess they wish, with Rod Wishart's long boot in the side, that it wasn't the wet night that it is, because with a little breeze assistance, they could have well decided to go for the 2. But they take the tap on the 30-metre line, and Walsh it is that charges it ahead. And a penalty against Canberra for inside the 10. Well, they'll take it now, surely. They're only 20 metres out. The picture tells the story. And they will take the shot for goal. Cross goes up and hands it over for Wishart. No score on the board. And we've reached 10 minutes of time elapsed.
Just a little bit of lack of discipline there from the Raiders, getting inside the 10 metres. John Cross telling his team that they've got to talk. Plenty of communication needed out there. There you see the Raiders well and truly inside the 10-metre area. Comes down to enthusiasm, I suppose, which is nice, but it also could cost the side 2 points.
Probably take their measurements off the Hearn barometer. I mean, how far offside was he?
Very fast. He yelled out to him, let's go.
There's Wishart. Oh, he doesn't take a great deal of time with it, and he misses 2 points that might come back to hurt them. No score after 11 minutes, Friday night football. Restart from Canberra, probably breathing a sigh of relief that they're not behind by 2. And without labouring the point, they can be very valuable in conditions such as these, as Illawarra go across the park, and Walsh is taken by Lomax, but he's able to get away. Cross gets it on now. It goes through to Richards, and then they're put away 45 metres out from the line. That's the other second rower, Duckworth. They work on the short side. Fritz is with it, and Fritz is put away by Wesley in the 12, and the 3 is David Boyle. It comes across now for John Cross at first receiver, and he sends it back through David Walsh once more. 40-metre line. Underneath them, the Steelers, as they go over now for air to go through. Oh, he sliced straight through them, runs across to his centres, picks up Richards. Wishart, well, he's run straight into Mullins.
Great tackle, Mullins.
Now away it goes from Callaway. Cross, he spreads it out very, very wide. They come back to the 20-metre line. Again, it's the halfback. He puts the kick in air. And this is Nagus back at his own end goal. Will he get it back? Yes, he does. He's made 15. He's made 20 metres up the park.
Great passes of play, wasn't it? Great confidence shown by Air to make that bust. Canberra go wide straight from the first.
Well, it is that gives it on for Maguire. How much pace has he got? He's unable to show it this time because Timmins was across in good cover.
Oh, tragedy for him. He had no support when he made that break. And when he made it, Bradley Clyde is down injured and back play for Canberra, really struggling.
What's the problem with Brad Clyde, Blocker?
Yeah, he clutched at his right knee as he went down on the ground, but he looks all right now. The trainers have looked at him. He's just jogging back in position now.
Okay, so we've got play now just into Illawarra's half, and Stewart throws a dummy, then tries to go himself, but he's shut down by Callaway. Stewart there plays it fairly quickly. It goes across through Walters, who sometimes finds himself as a running forward, as a ball distributor, and we've seen more of that with the young boy Jason Deeth coming into the side at plenty of intervals for the Canberra Raiders. And now a bit of work back there for Brendan O'Mara. He's got to get back. He does that and does it well, but Bradley Clyde is down there on top of him, indicating that knee has made a quick recovery. And now coming in off the wing to take a dummy half run is Beecham, and he's put away there by Ruben Ricky.
A very good run by the winger too, Beecham, getting it out over the 10-metre mark, and a promising start by Glenn Eyre, the halfback. It's his third game in a row as the starting halfback. Of course, John Simon out with a shoulder injury. He does go to the Sydney City Roosters next season. Glenn Eyre would believe that halfback job is his if he can have a good second half of the season.
That's him now unloading and throwing it right across the face of the 5'8" and the lock forward who was out wider. They tried to get it around the outside of Canberra, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do, but they do use the sliding defence, and that's required from the half, often the long ball to get you to the outside of the ground quickly. Mullins brings it back now, 45 metres out from the Illawarra line, and they go across. Well, Walters gave a pass to Clyde. The crowd, they thought it was forward. I thought it was forward. But it ends up near the 20-metre line, back in the hands of Stevie Walters. He gets it out for Wesley. They've lost their straight line, Illawarra. There's a bit of problem. There's a problem here for them. Now another one of their players goes down. Fritz is injured. Stewart shows it to the right, comes to the left. Wiki does some stepping, tries to get through, but the defence is able to converge and put him away. They're 10 metres out from the line. As it goes away with DeVico, he flicks it out the back. Lomax gives it. Walters tries to go through, and Walters has put down the line just in front of him. Fifth tackle, what will Stewart do? He's decided to go through the hands for the kick. No, Daly doesn't kick. Boyle goes for the corner. Maguire gets the try, but the referee again says forward pass.
Oh, having some problems on the far corner. Looked like a beautiful pass from Laurie Daly, shaping to kick the football. You see the winger for Illawarra staying back. Daly read it perfectly. Pass goes to Boyle. That pass there is the forward one to Maguire. And deja vu in that corner.
Oh, they had try written all over it. Maguire overrunning the pass. He's probably entitled to hang back a fraction there and try and hit that ball at speed, but no good for Canberra. A couple of try-scoring opportunities gone begging for them.
There's something lacking in there with the Illawarra cohesion. You might have just seen it there, 2 or 3 players looking around, standing still, looking to give it to another person to run it. Now Fritz, he's got the right idea. Heads straight down the ground. They defend the northern line today as they go up the ground with their fullback now, Brendan O'Mara, almost to the halfway. 5 tackles have gone for them though. Callaway across for his captain to kick and find the line. And it'll be just outside the 30-metre line where the scrum will pack down.
And all the kicking duties falling back to John Cross. He was very adept in that department. Didn't hit that one as sweetly as he would have liked. Obviously the Raiders didn't believe he was going to be doing the kicking because all the pressure is going away from him. He'll start to head his way shortly. And really the back row for the Illawarra Steelers are keeping them in this game. The work of Richards, John Cross, and Duckworth has been very good in cleaning up. gaps up the middle.
Sideline comment from Steve Roach.
Yes, Craig Simons had to do a mountain of tackling. They showed their hand early, the Canberra Raiders, just shifting the ball out there. He's in no man's land at the moment.
So Stewart opting to run himself and catching them by surprise. Now Daly, he shows it, then tries to get through. Mullins is tackled from behind. They'd actually breached the defensive line, played by Mullins. They come on the blind side for Clyde. He loses his footing and he's put away eventually by Walsh and by Richards. Now DeVico and a short pass for Lomax. They take it inside the 30-metre line. Walters is there, a dummy half. Hetherington calls for the ball on the blind side. It's Walters, though, tackled in the centre of the park, just outside the 20-metre line. Stewart goes into acting half. Again, Hetherington calls it. Then he calls his captain around him. They set up a play down the centre, and DeVico is put away back where the ball was played. The fifth tackle, and Stewart is there, waiting for the kick again. And he holds it back, and then Grubber kicks in, where O'Mara was waiting for it, and he comes away to the 10-metre line. So again, the pressure valve comes off Illawarra.
A very poor kick there from Ricky Stewart. No result whatsoever, apart from a favourable bounce and clean-up by Brendan O'Mara. Darren Fritz out there really struggling. I think Fitzgibbon would be looking to give the big fella a break. He's causing some problems in defence because he's late getting into the line. And even now, 3 rucks into this attacking set, he's still walking.
Cross now, playing it inside the 30-metre line. As Edwards comes in and floats a pass away for Craig Simon. Craig playing in the centres. Brett Rodwell suffering that terrible injury on Wednesday night. Callaway's kick is okay. He didn't have much room to work in, Dean Callaway, but it was a good kick. And the scrum will go down. It'll be a Canberra loose head and feed. He only just found it.
Again, Canberra will come up with the football in good position. At times, first tackle has been around this area, so they're not having any trouble getting into the Illawarra 50 at all. They do seem to have a pretty good breeze behind them this first 40 minutes.
This is Hetherington now. Walters, always there, always ready to take it ahead. Hetherington across now. And DeVico falls at the hands of Fritz. As the Raiders come back to the 30-metre line, setting up another play, and it's been beautifully rehearsed, and at the moment it's working like a machine, and Nagus gets it over the line, and they score. Well, that was absolutely beautiful. The execution, everything went just to order, and Canberra gets the try after 20 minutes.
Yeah, some lazy work on the inside here, and it is Darren Fritz who gets caught out. We'll just watch how this play unfolds. Pass back inside. As we freeze it there, this is Darren Fritz, who was at marker. You can see a gap in the middle, but just watch the big man as the play unfolds for Canberra. He doesn't move across until it's way too late. That's the hole he should have filled. And Ken Nagus, with great evasion, beat O'Mara, beat Wishart, and skips out of the tackle, where he carries Paul McGregor over the line for the first try.
Oh, beautiful set play there. Timmy Sheen's be pretty proud of this one. It's amazing the coaches, they do this at training when they come off. It's just great work, and Nagus, he was always going to score when he got into the open spaces. Too much skill in evading those tackles. And Canberra threatened a couple of times. They finally get one, and with no David Furner, who's out injured, Laurie Daly is the man who'll be taking the shot at goal.
Yeah, well, as Paul said, and of course he'd know, he's a very experienced coach.
Super coach.
They work on their set plays for hours on end, trying to get one to come off exactly the way you planned it. It doesn't present itself all that often, but that would be pleasing to Tim Sheens and the players involved. So Laurie Daly will attempt conversion of the try scored by Ken Nagus. Canberra 4-0. And the 20 minutes of the match gone. They had all the territory. Canberra, hard to remember Illawarra spending any long passage of time in the opposition territory. Daly's offline, so that's a bit of a let-off for Illawarra. They're down 4-0 after 21 minutes, and a bit of a smile from Laurie Daly. Back with the Illawarra Steelers kicking off. Canberra leading 4-0. A try scored by Nagus after 20 minutes. Daly failed to convert. Earlier tonight, Wishart failed with a simple penalty attempt. So both goal kickers are off tonight. Ferner not playing. Daly doing the kicking for Canberra. This is Luke DeVica, who's in the front row tonight, as Walters gets away from the marker's defence, and then Lomax shovels it out. It's been knocked down by the Illawarra Steelers, and he said play on, did he? No, he waited for a call from his touch judge. It was like cat and mouse.
Well, Graham West very nearly let this play on, you know. He looked at his touch judge and couldn't get a signal. All of a sudden, he was going to let it play on. Knocked down there by Air and picked up, and a very late call by West.
Canberra now, Daly across for Ricky, and Daly thought was going to make the run around and make the extra man out wide. He doesn't. Goes to dummy half though, and they work away to the right with Clyde. Clyde was injured about 10 minutes ago. He seems to be pretty free in his action now though, as they bring play back towards the halfway line. Hetherington is with it, and Brett Hetherington put away right in the centre of the ground. Darren Fritz making the tackle with John Cross, and now Daly kicks, and Maguire, this young winger, charging down the line as O'Mara goes back onto his own try line and comes back to be bet by Maguire. And now he uses the winger Beecham. Beecham is wrapped up by Daly and Maguire, with Noah Nandruku not in this match tonight. This is Timmins, 20 metres away from his line as they use up the third and the fourth tackle. John Cross. Callaway now calling on Fritz to take it away, and he does that, the big fella. That's the fourth. As Fritz plays it 4-0 in favour of Canberra. Good hands by Glen Eyre, but they're really flirting with danger, throwing the ball about as they are, back on their own 30-metre line. And now they realise that the kick has to come. Eyre, a bit of pressure put on him by Stewart. Then he turns it back inside, and the kick is through from Timmins. The bounce will be interesting. Maguire did well. For a player in his debut first-grade match, or his first run-on game, he did extremely well. But now you've got to be careful of Canberra as they spread the ball wide on the first tackle. Wiki is there. McGregor read it, and McGregor came up out of the line to snuff the Raiders' centre out of it. Daly on the halfway. Now Clyde, and Clyde goes back to the centre of the park. Walters looking at Stewart. Which way? They're coming to the left of the ground, and then the pace, the ball goes across to Nagus on the bounce, and he's gone into touch. Good work by Wishart. He showed him the sideline, and then used it to Illawarra's advantage. Sunday, of course, the big match of the weekend, Manly versus Brisbane. That will be a sellout. The opening of the Ken Arthurson stand, one of the highlights of the off-field activities. Brookvale will be absolutely chock-a-block on Sunday as the penalty, a differential, goes to Illawarra.
Good advantage played by the referee there. Both David Wesley and Bradley Clyde broke much too quickly from the scrum base. Nothing unfolded for the Steelers, so the penalty was awarded, and a very good touch finder gives the Steelers 6 tackles inside the Raiders' 20.
25 minutes gone on the clock as Fritz throws that big frame at them, and Clyde comes out of it. Again, he's injured as Walsh is put down now. The line only about 7 or 8 metres up. Callaway comes back. The pass is now back with Timmins. He did well. He keeps it alive. Glen Eyre is with it. They run the angle for John Cross. He gets the pass away. Callaway. Now it's with Timmins. Timmins gets it back. And now coming back across the 20-metre line is Richards. Richards will play it. Callaway a dummy half. He's touched the ball 4 times in the last 60 seconds. The ball goes to ground now. It'll be raked out of the penalty. Penalty goes to the Steelers. 12 metres out, almost in front.
Oh, great defence there by the Raiders. The Steelers went backwards looking for a hole, ended up losing 10 metres on the previous play. And this ball, I thought it came loose first up, and then as he was trying to regather it, Timmins, it was raked out. There's Clyde down injured. With such a valuable player as Clyde, I wouldn't be leaving him on there if there is any chance that there's a serious injury.
You'd have to believe that the referee got a call from his touch judge on that play, because he was completely on the blind side of where the play was unfolding. Plenty of ball movement by the Illawarra side. Timmins particularly involved along with Callaway. Changing the direction there. Nearly a chance with Ruben Wiki falling over. And Callaway getting it back to Timmins. And turns finds Richards. Now when Timmins comes up on the next play, I agree with Paul. I thought the ball was coming out. And it was on the other side to the referee. The touch judge must have got involved.
So Rod Wishart, just 12 metres out, 664 career points, and that makes it 3 sixes. 4 points. 4 points to 2 the score. As we take a break, we'll be back in just a moment. Four points to 2, Canberra over Illawarra, 22 minutes gone. And back at Steelers Stadium, we go up with this kickoff from Canberra, and Rod Wishart put them on the board with that penalty goal. He could have had them at level, really. He missed one that Rod would tell you he should have got. And this is Fritz, 2 metres out from his own line. Bradley Clyde, I wonder how much longer they will leave him out there. He's struggling with this knee problem. They try and make the break through Duckworth, and Hetherington is there, the opposite number, to pull him down 10 metres short of the halfway line. Callaway goes over, finds John Cross, and hasn't he done some work? Almost on the halfway line, just looking at his personal effort. 13 tackles, 7 hit-ups, but he's been at first receiver when he hasn't been making the hit-up. He's really tried to fill in and take the job very much of John Simon. He's taken that job on himself. There's an added responsibility. McGregor's kicked through, and this winger Maguire comes up. That's not that looks easy, but it's not easy.
Good work, confident work there by Maguire. He's done nothing wrong so far as Mullins gets a few metres. Nice little kick there by McGregor. Had some support on the outside, and Maguire, all good wingers. He came back up into the play, and well done.
4 points to 2. Raiders with a try scored by Ken Magus that came after 20 minutes. Illawarra replying with a penalty goal. 40-metre line behind them now as Walters runs away on a run that didn't have a lot of quality about it. This is Maguire. And he's put down 35 out from the Illawarra line. 5 tackles gone as it comes across now for Stewart. And Stewart with a high kick, a midfield bomb, and Clyde's underneath it. They let it bounce eventually. Then Wishart, he gets a touch on it, then he loses it. Oh, touch of the old juggling from Wishart. Chance here for Canberra. Nagus inside the 20-metre line, trying to get his arms free. Eventually he's put away there by Duckworth, and that's the 10-metre line just in front of them. They go across now for Stewart. Stewart in and away, and then Daly, then the angle. Oh, here's Mullins, and he's put away. Tackled there by Timmins, close to the line, with the winger coming in to assist. They go to the short side, and Daly will score. Daly gets it over, and referee Graham West gives the try. Canberra making it look pretty easy there. They had the Steelers stretched, and so there it is after 29 minutes, 8-2 in favour of the Raiders.
And a simple try there to the Raiders. The bomb there didn't work for the Illawarra Steelers. Wishart coming up with the football, nearly getting in the clear, and the ball popping out. And then on the far side, the play went the blind. And we freeze it there. Again, the inside defence of the Illawarra team in not coming across to fill up the gap on the inside hurt them. As play continued, that gap exploited by Laurie Daly. This time it was Timmins, a little bit late in coming there, and if you get there late, the Raiders are going to score every time.
Yeah, there's no way that try should have been scored. It was 3 against 3, and there was plenty of red jumpers there. So Daly been very good tonight. Mullins has been terrific. Illawarra, no luck, you know. If Wishart had got clear, he would have run 80 metres and nearly scored a try. Only Mullins to beat.
Talking of Mullins, he's just under the watchful eye of one of the Canberra trainers. Australian fullback. Just suffered a little injury there when he went very close to scoring
The player who's impressed me for the Canberra side, I'm sure Steve Roach will agree, is the prop forward Devico. He's been in everything. Hits the ball up well. He's been strong in defence.
Laurie Daly on a fairly acute angle, and this time he's just across the face of the upright, so no joy for Daly doing the kicking tonight. 2 attempts and 2 failures, but he did score that try.
He's had a tough couple of weeks, Brett Mullins. Dumped on his head 2 games ago and was in doubt for the Manly fixture. And in that tackle he picked up an injury as well. He's a marked man these days, but a couple of tackles that he's taken caused a bit of damage. Again, Devico takes the ball over the 20-metre mark easily, and that's such an advantage, getting outside the 20-metre mark on the first tackle. Psychologically, it makes things very easy for the next 5 tackles.
You like him, Blocker?
I do. He's very powerfully built, and him and Johnny Lomax have gone well together. This bloke too, Wesley, I've always been impressed with him every time he's played in first grade.
Steve Walters capitalises on a quick play of the ball by Wesley. They've got the overlap. Wishart again shows Nagus the sideline. Nagus goes back in and loses it, and Illawarra come up with it with McGregor on his own 40-metre line. As they go across now, Canberra come up a mile inside the 10, and Cross is tackled in the centre of the ground.
Rabs, they were back 3 metres, and West has got to take the blinkers off and have a look around.
I thought it was Tony Hearn again, Rabs.
This is Sean Timmins now. He is a good player. He comes from the Kiama club originally. He is forming that half 5/8 combination with a Tarul junior, Glen Eyre, tonight, as Darren Fritz tries to unload. The ball comes back and away, knocked down by Canberra. He gives 6 more tackles, and the Steelers are in just inside the 30-metre line. Callaway, a dummy half, goes across for Glen Eyre, then for Cross. Cross tries to sprint through, got it back for McGregor. McGregor, taken by Mullins, gets the pass back for O'Mara, and O'Mara is tackled 12 metres out from the line. Callaway goes to the left quickly. Glen Eyre thinks he can do it. Then he gets support from Walsh on the outside. They are just 5 metres out from the line. Decoys going left and right, then the flick inside. It goes to ground and O'Mara dives on it, but a knock on.
Well, they've thrown an opportunity away there. If there is one criticism of Paul McGregor's game, is sometimes he is not aware of where his best support players are. This time Glen Eyre just pushing at the double pump. Always seems to come up with a mistake. The Illawarra fans don't believe that the player touched the ball. It couldn't go forward.
Well, there's no knock on there. That was incredible.
Well, believe it or not, the referee obviously does, and so the Raiders win the scrum from in front of their own uprights, and this is Ruben Wiki. Time only about 5 minutes away now. A replacement player in the shape of Jason Burnham is on. Clyde has left the field. I would think a decision will be made on Clyde's re-entry during that half-time break. Giving themselves, in fact, 15 minutes to work on Brad Clyde and make an assessment rather than just the 10 minutes of half-time. As Stewart puts in a long kick and gets the ball rolling towards that sideline. Eventually it comes in contact with it. A lovely kick by Ricky Stewart. That must have been all of 50 metres.
It's an easy way to get to the other end, isn't it? Pinpoint accuracy there from Ricky Stewart. Big torpedo, a little bit of breeze behind it. I guess Illawarra will think that if they can stay within 6 the half-time break with that breeze at their back in the second half, they'll have the opportunity to play good field position.
I just wonder if the game has seen a better all-round kicker than Ricky Stewart. Sometimes you're looking at somebody and he is the best of all time, and you're not aware of it until, unfortunately, he's hung the boots up.
I don't think there's any doubt, Ray, that he's the best kicker in all departments that we've seen. He's got the longest kicking game in the competition. The ability to put the little one over the top, and we see that combining so often with Brett Mullins, and he can kick with both feet, and that's an enormous advantage.
The irony of all of that is, of course, that he's not a goal kicker, even though he would like one day to be a goal kicker. This is Fritz. He's reached the 40-metre line, but there's a problem there as he is slow to rise, and so was David Wesley. They're both okay now. Glen Eyre away from Stewart, who came up quickly. That could have created a problem, but it came off the fingertips of Richards.
Well, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable bad luck for the Steelers here. Stewart's done this a couple of times tonight, sprinted up out of the line, trying to put pressure on. And it creates all sorts of problems for his side's defence, especially when they miss the tackle like he's done there. There's 5 Illawarra players on 1 there, and if they hold the ball, they might have been able to do something.
It wasn't bad luck, really. Like, Sean Timmins had to go and commit Ken Nagas. That took him out of play, and then there were plenty of support players on the outside. Instead, he just caught and passed and threw the ball the boot laces of his outside players.
The Raiders have been over the line twice in the match tonight, and here they are brewing up to what might be another one just in front of the half-time break, which is just on 3 minutes away. Daly gives Ruben Ricky a nice pass. He takes the play 28 metres away from the Illawarra line. As they reach the right of the ground, they come back, and this is Burnham using Lomax, and they run angles. Boyle had it, lost it, got it back in. And Walters is over there to act as halfback as it comes over to the first receiver, Stewart. Then for Daly, then the run around, then the flick pass, and Mullins just catching it before it hit the ground. Was it a forward pass? That's the question. Or did it touch the ground? Some of the fans are saying. This is Hetherington, but they really are fine-tuning some adventurous moves, Canberra, as Stewart puts the ball high and across. Wishart went up above the pack. Great take. Good work by Wishart. It's a penalty anyway to Illawarra. West has ruled those Canberra Raiders on camera as being in front of the kicker.
Yes, he said that Jason Burnham was not behind the kicker. He was the first player down there putting pressure on Wishart, who took it beautifully. Went up with a great deal of confidence. Penalties really going against the Raiders.
What's the story on Brad Clyde, Steve?
Yeah, medial ligament damage. They just hope it's a strain. Plus, he's got a cork. He won't be back tonight.
Fritz. Dent on the Canberra line. Darren Fritz, his hit-ups. Looking at them, his defence might have been lacking. His hit-ups total 10 now. He's made 12 tackles in the match. A couple of them were in the centre of the ruck. A couple of times he's been found wanting, however. And this is O'Mara. He's put away 42 metres out from the Illawarra line. And the Steelers threatening to break through. Trailing by 8 points to 2. Tries for Daly and Nagas for Canberra as Eyre puts his kick down inside the 10-metre line. A busy night for Maguire, who's had an exciting start. Put his body on the line a couple of times. And this is Jason Burnham now, the replacement for Bradley Clyde. 25 out from his line. Canberra showing us a couple of new faces. Oh, that was snatched out by Fritz. Referee West says play on. I would have thought he might have penalised Fritz for stealing the ball. And here's a break made by Duckworth. Duckworth ridden into the ground by Mullins. Duckworth plays it. Illawarra, can they get a try before half-time? Back they come for Timmins. He shows the ball. He's got it out in front of him. Looking to unload. Put down 11 metres out from the line. Callaway goes over now for cross. Straight and hard at the uprights. Pulled down with Callaway waiting to distribute. The halfback Glen Eyre, he's cut out. They're gone across for McGregor. McGregor, he's put away. 9 metres out from the line. Little knock on there from McGregor. And referee West is going to put a scrum down.
McGregor trying to get in position to get the pass around the back of the tackler, but it was good defence. Forced the mistake, gets the arm free, and out it popped.
Siren in the background, and that's the end of the first half. A chance for the Illawarra Steelers just on half-time. 8 points to 2 in favour of Canberra. They've looked fairly comfortable at that scoreline. We'll take a break and come back with our half-time summation in just a moment. We're back at Steeler Stadium for the resumption of play. Canberra with 2 tries. Illawarra yet to score a try. They're trailing 8 points to 2. The men in red, as they get first use of the football in the second half. And notice that they've got number 17 out there, Jonathan Britton, on the park for the start of the second half. Illawarra as Darren Fritz crosses the 30-metre line on this first set of 6. Graham West taking a long look along the Canberra defensive line. Maybe one of his touch judges or referee's appointments board officer has said to him, keep an eye on your 10, because there were a couple of occasions where he gave Canberra plenty of freedom in that first half. This is Richards. Now for the kick for John Cross, and he's swearing under his breath. I didn't even have to follow the ball down the park. Johnny Cross, he started swearing the moment it left the boot. And now Canberra come away with the turnover, and Daly dangerously running into the centre and then showing it, calling players around him. Walters is into dummy half, and now for Stewart. Stewart, plenty of flick passing, plenty of fancy plays by Canberra. Wesley stands and unloads. Burnham came on for Clyde. Now he uses Boyle. Boyle just shoulders through. Mullins helps. Burnham puts his hand up again, and he's tackled 5 metres out from the line. Now from Walters over for Stewart. Stewart holds it back. Lomax goes towards the line. Hetherington supports, and Hetherington is 5 metres away from the line. Canberra with Walters putting the head down and going for the line, but falling just a matter of centimetres short. They still look dangerous. They have another shot at it. They're held up and forced back. 5 tackles gone. That was DeVico. Now they come across for Stewart. He goes for a drop goal. It's a stabbing drop kick, and it finds Britton carrying the football back almost to the 10-metre line.
Well, that was tremendous work on both teams' behalf there. Great defence from the Illawarra side. Canberra almost over the line on 2 occasions. And then a little bit of respect for the Illawarra defence there with Stewart looking for the field goal to put his side 7 clear.
Paul McGregor. Illawarra just with the 1 penalty goal landed by Rod Wishart. Fritz hammers the ball up and then throws caution to the wind. There's probably no need for that at this part of the night. There's a lot of time on the clock, and they're only 6 behind. Certainly not a time in the match to be squeezing passes deep inside your own territory. 5 tackles gone as it's played by Duckworth. They go across for Eyre, and he had a very good first half, Glenn Eyre. Only 21 years of age, and having a very good match there in place of John Simon tonight as Mullins brings the football back to a point about 5 metres inside the 20-metre line. That should be a penalty. It is. It'll go to Canberra. It has. And it's against Sean Timmins for not allowing Mullins to play the ball. You'll see it here. The tackle is made. Mullins entitled to get up and play it. And Timmins refuses to let go. Well, Steve Rhodes, what can you tell me out of half-time?
Yeah, well, Canberra, Tim Sheens was pretty happy. He said that he thought his team was rushing things a little bit. A few bad kicks and a few bad passes. He wants his back line to get a little bit deeper. He said the one thing that he wants from his defensive players is to put the Illawarra players on the ground, allowing them to get the football away too much.
I don't think I've seen Canberra play with their confidence as high, Steve, this early in the season. They really are putting some fancy plays together.
Well, that's a good thing too. Tim Sheens obviously generally doesn't show many things, but he's showing them tonight, and I'm sure he's got plenty more up his sleeve.
I was about to say I'll come back to you shortly, Blocker. But Canberra's play breaking down on the Illawarra 30-metre line. The long ball from Stewart, the hands from Daly, and then the fumble from Burnham. And the Steelers come up with it.
Oh, Graham West is... Look, he's kidding. He had to get him there for offside. They were 2 metres back then.
Eyre. Something from McGregor, who takes the tackle and unloads to promote his captain. Almost on the halfway line, Jonathan Britton for his halfback Eyre. And then this is Richards. Richards wearing the headband tonight. And John Cross without it. Not hard to confuse them on occasions. Fritz hammers the ball up, and this is the last tackle. Eyre off the hip is Cross. Good yards, puts the kick in. Mullins is there, and he's on his own line to bring it back and to be taken by Britton. Then Eyre again with some skillful play, and John Cross there to support. Now they go quickly across the park, as they so often do. Nagus in and away. He's into some space. The fullback to beat. The winger comes back. And Nagus is tackled 5 metres short of halfway and loses the ball.
Oh, what a beautiful tackle there by O'Mara. Lovely tackle. Classic fullback tackle. And here we are, the Raiders going wide. There was plenty of Illawarra players there, but the gap was there. Timmins couldn't get Nagus. Look at this classic tackle here. Beautiful stuff.
Referee West is calling the Illawarra captain across. I'm just wondering who it is that he's aiming for here. It's Maguire, the Canberra winger. I don't know whether the referee knows who he's looking for.
Well, he's run all the way across Maguire, and he's the wrong man. He's now signaling for Brett Mullins to come across. This is something to do when he fielded the kick and brought it back.
Next Friday night, by the way, we've got a good clash between the Sydney Bulldogs and the Sydney City Roosters. That is our round 12 Friday night match at Parramatta Stadium between the Bulldogs and the Roosters. And Sunday of next weekend, Gold Coast to play Western Suburbs at Seagulls as Illawarra come away with possession. And that is Craig Simon. Just wondering whether they've made a positional change there in that back line. Simon on that occasion operating closer to the ruck, which I'm sure he would prefer. This is Walsh. Big tackle. The crowd groaned. They were looking for a penalty. As Callaway offloads, Air goes across. He picks up Richards, standing out around about the 5/8 position. And now Callaway back onto a wide blind side, and Cross is there working so often tonight with the halfback Air. Britton on for Air. He goes inside the 30-metre line, goes to the Air. In conditions like these, anything can come of it. Up they go, batted back. Now Simon puts a kick in. Britton goes up, but is that Mullins under there or Maguire? It's the latter. And Stewart unloads. Nagus keen to get wide of the ruck as quickly as he can.
And just as well Maguire was there, as Ricky makes good metres out of dummy half, because it was quick work from Craig Simon. Ball coming into his hands. He knew it was the last still and got the little kick through, and there was a lot of players coming to the football. It's a fine game, this winger.
Lomax now. That's beyond the 30-metre line, and this is Hetherington. Hetherington getting it within 10 metres of the halfway line, but that's the turnover. He might not have heard the call. I get the suspicion that he did not. Callaway, he doesn't care. He feeds it quickly across, and Timmins, not plenty of stepping out there, Sean, but he's doing it before he reaches the defence line. No matter, he's able to make further metres, and he's tackled 33 out. That's only their first tackle. They're in good field position. Air goes across, finds Richards. Richards goes back to the centre, drawing a couple of forwards in with him, further compressing the Canberra defence. Callaway looks for a quick play the ball. It's not forthcoming as they go to Simon. Then across, and Duckworth tries to stand and unload. It was a strong tackle originally from Ruben Wiki. Nagus had to clean it up. They come back for McGregor. McGregor tries to slice through. There hasn't been a great deal of opportunity for Paul McGregor. Callaway hears the call from Fritz, and the big man charges inside the 20-metre line. Fritz. Now, 5 tackles are gone, and Callaway looking for the instructions. Cross comes up, puts the grubber in. Oh, a little fumble there. Canberra come up with the ball. It is play on. But they held their breath there for a moment. It was Nagus. 5 metres out as we watch the replay. Nagus, it seemed to come off his arm, but it went backwards. So there's no drama in the ruling, but it might have been just a little bit of lady luck smiling favourably for Canberra. The Premiers leading 8 points to 2. The captain, who has run with the football more tonight than most times, Daly, his kick will find touch. Wishart allows it to go. Crossing at the 20-metre line. Again, Stewart's long kick. Or Daly on that occasion, I should say, gaining a lot of free yards.
He's been very good tonight, Laurie Daly. He's done everything right. Perfect link man between his forwards and backs. That time Ricky Stewart tackled, took on the responsibility of the kick, and a flat kick 40 or 50 metres into the breeze. And of course, he did score a try in the first half. Been very dangerous.
Wishart moves off his right wing to take this first play. And we can expect one of the second rowers to do likewise, and it is Duckworth who does his job, to be taken away by Ruben Wickie. Just wasn't facing goal as he played that ball, but Walsh takes it ahead. Air is in everything. That pass is ill-directed, but it's been cleaned up for him by Craig Simon. And now Callaway, 32 metres out. They're using up a few tackles. Cross puts on a sprint, running a bit of an angle. He's looking for McGregor there. Callaway is too. He finds him. McGregor to the halfway line, but every time he touches the ball, you can almost see an urgency in the Canberra defence. They go up a gear, and as a result, Paul McGregor is not finding space. He's a beautiful runner of the ball, Paul McGregor. A sight to see, but he hasn't been offered any freedom by Canberra. This is Maguire. Like run across the ground, 28 metres out from his own line. We work in a fairly compact box here at Steelers, and I do apologise to Peter Sterling if he goes home battered and bruised. He's got elbows and knees and goodness knows what.
Well, they've got 6 weeks tonight, Rose. Steve Roach, we got a report on Brad Clyde that he wouldn't be back. What about Peter Johnson? We haven't seen him since the big hit.
Yeah, Peter Johnson, some bad concussion. He only lasted 5 minutes in the game. Some bad luck for him.
So he won't be back?
No way.
Actually, his replacement, David Walsh, I think, has been one of the Steelers' best tonight. He's got the ability to hit the line offload in traffic. He's done that on several occasions, and the player's gone on since.
I just wonder, Paul, if they're going to be forced to go all the way with Fritz and Walsh. As Britain takes a good catch there, they could start to get tired fairly late. Have to look to get someone on, I'd imagine.
So 27 has gone on for Canberra. That is Bruce Mamando from Papua New Guinea, from Mount Hagen in PNG, 21 years of age. A penalty has gone to the Steelers just on Bruce Mamando. He was educated at St John's College at Woodlawn, up just out of Lismore. I think you'll find that college, Woodlawn. Marist Brother College. Very good football teams have come out of there. And this is Jonathan Britton now, away from a tackle by Mamando. And that won't do his confidence any good. 6 more tackles because Canberra, they came in contact with the ball at the play the ball. And I don't know whether Illawarra realise it, because the way they're throwing it about is as if they're on a later tackle.
That's Peter Phillips swamped there. He's come on as replacement for David Walsh, so there's been a reshuffling in the positions of the Illawarra side. Peter Phillips going to 5'8", that side of Glen Eyre.
Simon playing it, and it comes back for Eyre to use Fritz again. Running more off the pivot tonight than straight up off the dummy half. And by doing that, they can aim him at the Canberra halfback as the ball goes from Duckworth. Here's McGregor, I was about to say, in some territory to run in, but he lost his footing. A desperate tackle brought him down. Callaway, he plays it on the 20-metre line. Now it's across for Glen Eyre. He sprints inside the 20, then stops and gets the pass out. The kick has been applied by Duckworth. It causes Maguire to go back, and then he's able to find the field of play.
Great play by the Steelers, finding some gaps up the middle of the Canberra defence. And the Canberra outside backs are coming up very, very fast. And it's play on here. Illawarra got the ball back from the play the ball.
Cross a dummy half. He looks for a long pass. He goes back instead to Richards, back in the centre, and a penalty goes against Canberra for being offside at the play the ball. Now McGregor is waving to the captain, take the kick, and John Cross has settled it down. He's called Wishart across, so they're going to kick for goal.
The Fatty putting the coaching cap on. Are you surprised that they're taking the 2 points? I know it is a gift, or you would think a gift. There you see how they got possession. No dummy half there for the Raiders. I'd have been tempted.
He hasn't taken it off.
I'd have been tempted to go for the try.
Yeah, it's a big decision to make for John Cross, their captain. They've got some momentum the last couple of minutes. They're up near the Raiders line. The Raiders have looked suspect in defence in the middle there. But in the other side, well, you've got 2 points, 8-4, a converted try, and you get to the lead. So I think they've done the right thing.
Wishart at 15 metres out, just on a gentle angle. He strikes it again badly. No goal for Rod Wishart. 8-2 Canberra over Illawarra. back at the Steelers Stadium, and a very disappointing goal-kicking exhibition by Rod Wishart.
Well, it was a bad decision, wasn't it? Sliding onto the try.
Well, never mind about that. The fact is he would have kicked those with his eyes closed on the kangaroo tour. He's missed a certain 4 points for his club, and he looks to be rushing them. This is Phillips now. Incidentally, Jason Deeth has gone on for David Wesley, which means that Steve Walters, as I was saying earlier, will go back into a running forward role. Fritz does well. Oh, the pass to Cross is ill-directed. Mullins comes back and tries to hurt them.
That's unbelievable. They've really kicked in the second half, the Steelers. They're coming back with a vengeance. They're playing a bit better than Canberra at the moment. The big break by Fritz should have resulted in the try, and the pass goes astray.
Now it's Burnham turning it inside for Wiki. 33 out from his own line. Daly uses Momando.
Field goal at the other end for the Raiders, starting to look more and more a good option. And they get down there to put them 7 clear.
This is Lomax. Now Hagen and Papua New Guinea up in the highlands. As Walters plays it on 5, and Stewart runs and then kicks, and Britton turns around, goes back, loses it. O'Mara was there running cover for him. Question mark on whether it came forward off Jonathan Britton, but the referee has let them play on. Air goes across, O'Mara joins in. Wishart is put down by Hetherington and Burnham, centre of the ground, 15 out from his own line. Phillips turning it back in. Richards it was that got it away, but they're using plenty of tackles and they haven't really gone anywhere. Canberra's got a good chance of coming up with the ball in good field position, but not if it's left to Duckworth. Ben Duckworth, a good run, good contribution. As the kick comes off the outside edge, well, that's what the Raiders work for. They concentrated their efforts and they put a charge down attempt on the kicker. So they get the turnover, 40 metres out. Will they convert them into points? Well, Callaway, I was thinking, was under some pressure. He was under none at all. He could have easily put the grubbing kick in across the sideline. Sideline comment from Steve Rhodes.
Yeah, well, 2 good breaks in the last couple of minutes. One by Fritz, one by Duckworth. I wonder where the halves are. Where's the support for these blokes when they do actually make the break? Just nothing doing for the Steelers at the moment.
Burnham. Hetherington takes it ahead. Oh, that's good work by Hetherington. And now Walters back for Stewart, and then he pushes it along for David Boyle. Boyle brought down on the 30-metre line. The Steelers now very much in a defensive pattern. Maguire is tackled 20 metres out. A couple of tackles left for the men in the green. As it goes across from Stewart onto Daly, he kicks for his winger. A grubbing kick for Nagus. Wishart runs as a bit of cover for O'Mara, but it'll be a line drop out. Canberra will come back with it. Daly just gently rolling it into the in goal, knowing that there was a chance for a try and more than a chance of getting it back. The latter replies. Nagus, the scorer of 1 try. Steelers take their time to take this line drop out in front of their relatively new stand at the southern end. We'll see the new stand at Brookvale on Sunday as we cover that big match between Manly and Brisbane. Lomax and Walters, and now Jason Deeth. These 2 hookers or dummy halves. Adapt to any role as Stewart turns it back. Walters is there. Walters through a gap. Here's trouble for the Steelers. Wiki does well. Nagus supports, and Nagus gets his second try. So the Raiders looking very good there, and they extend to 12-2 now after 59.
And again, a set move from the Raiders with the cutout pass from Ricky Stewart, a deliberate one. Ray goes to that side, he frees it there. That man being cut out going across that way has put the defence coming up here at 6s and 7s. As play continues, Darren Fritz rushes up on the outside. And then tremendous work there from Ruben Wiki, who copped a solid tackle from Glen Eyre, bounced out of that, carried Brendan O'Mara, and Nagus, who did a tremendous job to be there from his wing, scores the try.
I can see that being very deflating for the Steelers. They've done well to hang on at 8-2 for most of the match. They'll kick clear now, the Raiders. Another great play around the ruck. This Illawarra defence right up the middle there has been pretty ordinary all night. Steve Walters, he's been the rocket there. He's so hard to pull down. He's always offloading. Well done by the Raiders.
Remember last year against Newcastle, they put that play on with the cutout pass across the face of the player who looked like he would get it, and Mullins ended up scoring 2 long tries.
Daly then with his easiest kick of the night, and he is successful. So Canberra, as we go into a break, leading Illawarra 14 points to 2 after 1 hour. Illawarra starting this next passage of play in Friday night football. It's a funny old game. If you'd been a betting man or woman, undoubtedly you would have thought that Illawarra was the team more likely to score next, but Canberra, such a classic side are they, that they can turn sheer defence into brilliant attack and change the entire pattern of the game in the twinkling of an eye.
Well, you've got to think, Ray, that it could almost have been 8-all. If Duke takes a burst up the middle, if John Cross had have taken the pass from Darren Fritz with his speed, he'd have scored. It would have been an easy conversion. I wish I'm not kicking well there. The Steelers inside the 10. John Cross unhappy with the decision.
He's probably blowing up, Peter, in frustration, knowing that a few times tonight the Canberra team have been given enormous latitude by Graham West. And this team being pinched for the same offence. Ricky Stewart finds the line, 20 metres out now from the Steelers line. 14 points to 2. They're in a comfort zone now. We were talking drop goal. That's now the lesser of the options. On a drop goal at 14-2, of course, would mean that Illawarra had to score 3 times. This is Mamando. And Stewart indicating to his outside backs that he's going high, but fooling nobody. Oh, this is easy stuff now. Lomax has gone over he's just gone over like a bulldozer. Nobody was going to stop him, and I hate saying this, I don't very often say it, but that was pathetic defence by the Steelers. Tired defence might be a kinder word.
Yes, another soft try to the Raiders there. And the enthusiasm just being knocked out of the Steelers here. Missed tackle by Richards. He's played so well, actually, Richards, tonight. And O'Mara couldn't get off the line quick enough. So the Steelers in a mile of trouble.
They're in some trouble if it's tired defence with 18 minutes still to go and they trail by 16. At the moment, the Raiders growing in confidence all the time. As Ray pointed out, this game has changed in a twinkling. Mistake down the other end of the field, and all of a sudden the Raiders have run in 2 tries.
You know, it's a cruel game in many respects. I described it as pathetic defence, and it was. I'm not backing off that, but the irony is that it would be Wayne Richards, the culprit that misses the tackle. He's topped the tackle count, and he's near enough to the leading hit-up forward. So of all players to miss a tackle like that, it didn't deserve to be Wayne Richards as Daly misses. Tim Sheen says, you're kidding. I think Tim will want a replay of that. Daly's appealing to the referee. Can we have a look at that? Because Sheens can't believe it. The touch judges have said no goal. Here's the kick. Oh, well, it's a goal. Tim Sheens was quite right. How could they? He's still blowing up Sheensy, and he doesn't say anything normally.
Where did that happen at another ground?
South
Same
Sydney
ground.
I thought it happened here.
Was it? It's happened a few places.
I don't know if it's the same bloke.
The Wollongong Ocean got to start that day, isn't it?
That's the night. The bloke does look at the rule, the touch judge.
Well, that's incredible. How have the touchies missed that?
Well, it's the touch judge on the right upright, Paul. It's the touch judges on the right upright. His fault. The other bloke standing on the left upright. He's really got a call on that. I don't know which one it was. I don't really care, but one of them has made a gigantic blue.
Rav, just fill us in on the rule there. This will be rule 676, section C. But if both touchies say no goal, then
that's it.
That's it.
That is
Righto.
finito. The only time the referee comes into it is if it's 1 up, 1 down. Yeah, they can blow up all they like to Graham West, but it'll be funny if this match happens to come back to somewhere near level.
Well, I know that it's probably not going to come into account as Mullins beats a couple, but that conversion would have put them 3 converted tries clear. And it's intercept taken by Callaway here and beats a player in Wiki and then keeps the ball back inside miraculously.
So the Steelers with the ball and played by Duckworth. They come wide to Cross and then for Glen Eyre, now for Craig Simon. He beats Daly, but he doesn't beat Stewart, and Mamando comes in to help the captain put him down. Sensational incident, really. I think I've seen it about 3 times in my days of watching football, but as Paul said, how do you make a mistake like that? You're standing on top of it. Duckworth been strong. We've put wraps on Richards, the other second rower, and certainly his tackling count much higher than Duckworth, but he's played well. And this is Fritz now on the 5th tackle, 30 metres out.
He's gone very well too in the hit-up department, Darren Fritz.
Glen Eyre goes to the air. Britton, the winger, was way back, which tends to make me think there's no communication like there is in the Canberra side.
Yeah, that's the inexperience coming out from Glen Eyre. He's played fine tonight, but where they've really needed him to take control, and that's in the Canberra 20-metre area, he hasn't been dominant enough. In the kicking game there, as Stewart throws the dummy, nearly gets through. He didn't even look outside to see where his chasers were. If he'd have looked across, they were 15 metres back.
Lomax has lost it. McGregor comes up with it, and this is what he likes, a bit of broken field running. It's gone across for Duckworth and Phillips, and then the pass. Well, Nagus will just... Well, he's called it back. He's called it touched in flight by Canberra. He's put a knock-on them, and Illawarra will get the loose head and feed. So we're about to blame Phillips for a poor pass. It will bear watching again before we get the knives out. Watch it. Yeah, it was knocked down by Nagus, and that's why it looked to be a shocker. Illawarra now, they need desperately to score next with 67 minutes gone, and the gap widening to 16 points. It should have been 20 points. Timmins is brought down 8 metres into Canberra's area. Wishart goes away from dummy half. They're good yards. Building a nice foundation here to launch an attack. Glen Eyre, a long pass over for Richards, back for Cross. And Cross huddling over, trying to get his arms free to pop it out the back. Callaway away for Fritz, and then across for Cross, and then Richards, and then inside the 20-metre line is Duckworth. 5 tackles gone. Now Glen Eyre, it's up to him as he puts a little kick in, keeps it low, in behind Maguire. He'll be flat out getting back. Britton's on him. They've got him this time, and the Steelers will get it back. Brave people here tonight, real rugby league supporters, but we know that down here. It was heavy rain here for about 2 hours leading into the game. Here's the incident.
He's been quite strong tonight, Maguire. We haven't seen him get out in the open yet. We don't know how fast he is, how quick he can run, but he's done everything right.
The thing I liked about him in the first half was he had to put his body on the line 2 or 3 times, and there was no fear at all. He was straight down on the football in tough situations.
10,250 here tonight, and let me tell you, that's a very good crowd. And I would imagine there's a fair proportion of the crowd from Canberra. It's not a difficult drive, nor a long drive, across from Canberra to here. This is the fullback, Brendan O'Mara now. These teams have played each other on 24 occasions since 1982. And Canberra hold the balance there, 17-6 with a draw. Mistake made there by O'Mara. It looked to get some help.
It's hard to drop a ball at that speed, isn't it?
Well, I would have thought so. The soap slipped out a bit fast this morning. There's the head-to-head.
Who was it?
I'm glad you said that one.
Turn it up. Both of them. From the back of the scrum, Burnham. Once it's made its exit from behind, supposedly behind the inside feet of the second rower, the lock can break from the scrum.
Well, Canberra getting plenty of possession now. That's 4 penalties in a row to the Raiders. And as possession mounts for them, just means trouble for the Steelers.
Well, this tap will be taken by Walters, 10 metres into BHP Steelers half of play. BHP, the sponsors, long-time sponsors of the Steelers, along with the MMI people. And they're deserving of a rap every so often for their support. As Daly turns it in, Jason Deeth is there to support. He's a busy little player, Jason Deeth. He must have thought on many occasions about a move to another club where he could play first grade consistently. Walters, the pass inside, and then from Lomax has gone to ground. But just on that was Jason Deeth. I noticed more and more in latter times, Tim Sheens is trying to keep his young, good players occupied or satisfied with plenty of game time.
He's a very good player, Jason Deeth, the kind of player you can bring on and play in numerous positions. And with Steve Walters out there, capable of playing as another forward, a running forward, it's really a perfect mixture. Great work rates, and they make good yards.
Air. Wrapped up by Ricky Stewart secondly, by Jason Deeth in the first instance. This is Phillips, chunky little fella. A bit close to the ground. He's been around, it seems he's been around for years. Cross, this is the same Phillips that was at Balmain, is it not? Right on the halfway. Callaway, he tends to get lost sometimes, Dean. I don't know that it's his fault as much as a lack of support to the ball carrier. Oftentimes you see him standing in the middle of traffic wondering where to go, where to pass it. As Canberra come up with a mistake, this could be play on, but now he's found a knock on. Go back and apply the first breach, which we'll see Illawarra with the loose and feed. Watch it, it all happens pretty quick. There's no drama there. Here's the drama from Stewart. A knock back by Illawarra. That could have easily been a penalty against them for Wishart being held off the ball. It doesn't matter, they've come up with the ball anyway through the scrum, and McGregor, big centre, looking to offload. As they come inside the 20-metre line with the running Wayne Richards out the back, but you can expect passes like that now. They've still got the ball. Callaway, a busy player. He's there for McGregor. They use the blind side where, in fact, they were outnumbered. Defence outnumbered attack. Fritz will play it. O'Mara the dummy half. Fritz slow to rise. Air runs to the defence line. He beats a grabbing, clutching hand from Hetherington. And now they're right in the centre of the park, 11 metres out. To the right was Craig Simon, and then for Cross, and now McGregor. He beats one, he steps out of a second, he unloads the ball, they're going to score. They're in. The Steelers, they get their first try of the night. It is Ben Duckworth, I fancy. And it is the young second rower who gets the try. 18 points to 6. That was quick action stuff, good stuff. And Illawarra get their first try.
Well done by the Steelers, showing some fighting qualities here. One of their best tonight, McGregor. And also, I reckon probably their best is Duckworth. He's made a lot of ground, running very hard. He's been strong defensively, and he deserves this try.
A lot of good young players in this Illawarra side. Duckworth falling into that category. Glenn Ayre's been fine for them tonight. Duckworth, if anyone deserves a try in the team, it's he, along with probably Wayne Richards. John Cross has been great for them as well. The back row really have tried particularly hard for them this evening.
And Wishart will take a bit more time with this. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with Rod. He must have left his kicking boots in Melbourne. 18 to 6.
He's got the duck hook out. You know that duck hook you did on the 13th at Castle Hill that day?
Here's this try again. McGregor's pass might have been a touch forward. Now, there was a hint of double movement, but the ball went across with the momentum of the player, and at no time did he try to promote it with the hands.
Yeah. We found that one 3 fairways across. Well, actually, it wasn't in the fair, it was on the rough. In the water.
Good fellas. You'd fair dinkum think you were Kilnagel and Peter Thompson put together. Talk about critics. They are the worst golfers you'll ever see, but they talk like Kilnagel and Peter Thompson.
Well, that's Walsh tackled 42 out from his own line, right?
Callaway now. Fritz. Big Darren gets it up to the halfway line. He's made some yards.
Oh, hasn't he? I mean, look, defensively he's been a bit ordinary. It only comes through. You can't do everything in the football game, as Duckworth makes more ground, but Fritz has made plenty of metres up the middle today.
I really think they've paid the penalty for Peter Johnson being hurt. I'm sure that they would like to use Fritz in bursts, with the interchange being available to them.
Wishart with a chip and chase, but it's out on the full. That'll be the turnover. And the score, 18-6, and I think fair to say that it should have been 18. Well, it should have been 20-12. Wishart should have kicked 3 goals, and Daly didn't get credited for it. You understand the logic? 20-12.
Excellent. 18-6.
There's a Barney. It's on.
Fatty, you've instigated this again.
You've put a few blues together this week, fat man.
No, not me.
It's seemed to come from very little. It was off the ball.
Off the ball. The play the ball there, I think it was DeVico, and one of the Steelers involved first up. Someone's got a cramp there. You can see that boot up in the air. Callaway.
Yeah, if ever a blue bloke broke out, I used to fall on the ground with a cramp. And here's the play the ball. Push from Callaway. He's grabbed. And then just a little scrappy start to the brawl. Nothing too much in it, although DeVico does land a couple.
What about those?
Yeah. There wasn't much happening up until those 2 big whooshes there.
2 big woofters.
You can't call those 2 blokes woofters.
Is there a new breed around? Woofters.
Kidding?
You are joking.
Dogs.
Turn up, Sterling. So, 18 points to 6.
Referee West talking to the woofters.
It's going to be an Illawarra penalty. DeVico ruled have thrown the 2 big punches.
So the Steelers, with time now running out fast, just on 3 minutes to go. And 9-5 the penalties in their favour in their department, so they can't complain about that, although, and I guess it's applied to both sides. And West has failed to get them back 10 metres. Both sides during the night. Simon on the 20-metre line. Around the legs is DeVico. Over the top, Steve Walters, who for mine has been near enough to the best player out there tonight. And Ansett Australia will reward our man of the match with $1,000. Air goes across. He looks for McGregor. He loses it. And the scrum to go down, 15 away from the Canberra line.
I think McGregor complaining that a Canberra hand pulled his arm, which helped him lose the football. As the play goes on, well, yeah, he was arguing that, but
I personally think that rule has to be looked at because it's taken away nearly all the responsibility of the attacking player to show some security for the ball. It really is a rule that I know has been in vogue for about, what is it, 3-4 years now. I just think it's taken so much responsibility away from the ball carrier. You're always taught to secure the ball.
Yeah, I'm happy to see the rule, Ray, concern the 3rd defender coming in.
That's right.
If you're not good enough to have ball security against 1 or 2 defenders, then you deserve to lose the football. Boyle does exactly that, and Maguire skips under a tackle and continues his tremendous.
He's a very elusive runner, this young Maguire, Michael Maguire, and we've only seen flashes of him tonight. We're seeing a flash of the brilliant Ricky Stewart now. He keeps it on the boot. It's gone over to Wishart, and Wishart is tackled 8 metres his side of halfway. But just on Michael Maguire, Canberra are very healthy if they've got him sitting in reserve grade. Noah Nandruku out. He hasn't lost anything alongside Ken Nagus on the other flank. The Steelers had a dreadful run this year, not only with injury, but they've been a long time wins back to back. They haven't won since round 5. This is round 11. As big Darren Fritz again thumps it up at them. Cross Callaway, knocked down by David Boyle. That'll be 6 more tackles. And number 18 is on for the Steelers. Is Dean Moon, reserve grade winger. Ball rolling along the ground in front of Darren Fritz, who's in an uncomfortable state at the moment. So just thinking, Paul is pointing out the footy tab. People will be unhappy, those that took the 13 plus on the margins, given that that goal was disallowed. So that'll be the next controversy. And 18-6 as the full-time siren sounds.